So fundamentally, Vipassana is a process of purifying our own mind. Yeah. So when we start our practice, when we are taking first 10-day course or when we are starting our practice, you will notice our mind is filled with so many different defilements, right? So our mind is filled with ego, it's filled with greed, hatred, jealousy, lust, all these different defilements. And what Vipassana says, or what Vipassana promises, that you can root out these defilements, right? You can take these defilements out of the mind. This is not the natural state of mind. This is more like an impure mind. Because of our wrong understanding and because of our wrong way of acting, we have cultivated these kind of impure state of mind, right? Which is not natural to us. And what Vipassana is saying, you can purify these state of mind. And when our mind is purified, there are certain qualities of purified mind. And these qualities is what we call four immeasurables. And this is not something that you cultivate, this is our basic default nature. But on top of it, we have built all this noise, right? And this is also referred as the four quality of Brahma, right? Brahma is considered as a god in Indian scripture, which is a symbolic representation of somebody who has these four qualities, right? Brahma Vihara, they call these qualities Brahma Vihara. So Brahma has like these different faces which represent these different four qualities. So whenever somebody has these four qualities, naturally, in a way, they are saying symbolically he is Brahma, right? So these are the default qualities. These are the natural, purer state of mind when we are not dominated by these defilements inside our mind. So what are these qualities? The first quality is this infinite metta, infinite friendliness towards other people, other beings, other animals, plants, or anything, right? This infinite metta, this quality of metta within ourselves. And this cultivates when our personal identification start to dissolve, right? When we are not so much egoistic, right? When we are not so much identified with our own desire and this and that, we start to experience this unity, right? We start to experience like this unity among all the different experiences, right? So instead of seeing other person as other person, this sort of person starts seeing everybody as himself, right? Everybody, for example, like Mother Teresa. Mother Teresa will not see somebody else like, here is a person who is suffering, let me help him. But for somebody like of Mother Teresa, she actually sees herself, right? It's almost as if she is suffering, right? So there is this so there's this unification that happens with the purified mind. It gets unified in the sense that it's not, the other person is not different than me, it is actually me who is experiencing through other body, right? It's that kind of realization, right? This that kind of unification, right? This barrier of I am different, other person is different kind of start to breaks down, and we start to experience as if there's only one being experiencing through different body, and that creates this sort of very infinite metta, because you're not seeing other person as different than you, right? And for this sort of person who is in that state of purification, for this person it is very very difficult to see anybody else suffering. And it is not even the suffering of material impoverty or things like these. It's more like suffering of psychological level, right? Any kind of suffering is going to be very difficult for this person to even see if other person is going through anything like that. And so that sense of deep connection with everyone, deep connection with everything else, not even everyone else, with animals and everything else, right? That creates infinite metta. That is the first quality of, that is the first immeasurable or first quality of Brahma, or first quality of purified mind. It feels connection. It feels as if it is connected with everything else. And this creates the infinite metta. The second quality is infinite karuna, infinite compassion or loving kindness. But again, it's the same sense of as if somebody is suffering, it's very difficult for this person to see other person suffering, right? Other person suffer, and again, the suffering is not in the sense of that other person is going through cancer or anything like that, but this sense of that, because this person has gone through this whole process of purification, he knows what psychological suffering is, right? He knows what it means to be feeling lost, what it means to have no idea what is going on and all these things. This kind of psychological suffering, depression, anxiety, and all these kind of psychological suffering, in fact, their root, how does these suffering created through ignorance and all that thing. And when he sees that this thing, that's person in front of him, or a being in front of him is suffering because of all these things, right? It creates a very deep compassion, right? It creates a very deep sense of sadness inside this person, and that is what is called as a second quality of Brahma, that is called Karuna, right? This person is feeling very strong sense of connection with other people. At the same time, he is seeing that other person is kind of suffering because of the ignorance, right? So that quality of Karuna, that is the second immeasurable. And again, it's not a pity. It's not like you're seeing a beggar and you're feeling like bad about the beggar. It's not like that at all. It's more like you're feeling connected with other people, right? And other people's pain, you feel other people's pain, right? And that kind of connection, again, this is all rooted again in the metta, the first quality, the friendliness towards other people, the connection towards other people. And with that, you are seeing other person and then you are feeling their pain, right? It's not like you're feeling pity and you're feeling like bad about other people. It's not like that at all, right? It's actual feeling of other person's feeling, what other person is going through, and a very deep sense of compassion towards other person. That is the second immeasurable. That is the second quality of Brahma, the Karuna, the loving kindness, compassion. Yeah. The third quality is sympathetic joy, or Modh, the infinite Modh, uh, infinite sympathetic joy, again rooted in metta. When you are seeing other person succeeding, you feel immense joy as if you are succeeding, right? If you see other persons happy, if you see child play, or if you are seeing somebody's very naturally in a very good state of being, you feel an infinite sense of joy inside yourself, right? It's again like rooted in the connection. You're feeling connected with everything else. So if somebody feels happy, you feel happy, right? It's that sort of feeling. It's that sort of quality, right? And in current world, it's kind of opposite right now. If you see, because of all these Facebook, Instagram, and all this kind of stuff, uh, one thing is people are projecting too much of perfection, right? People are projecting some unrealistic images to the world, like which is more rooted in this need of acceptance. And it creates this dynamics of comparison and jealousy. You're seeing somebody's having good time on Instagram or whatever, and you feel kind of sense of comparison and jealousy towards other person, right? It somehow creates that. uh, but the sympathetic joy is completely opposite of it, right? It's more like again, it's more like you see somebody succeeding, you feel happy about it, you feel very happy about it, you feel more happy than you are succeeding yourself, right? uh, that sort of feeling, that sort of connection, that sort of uh, feeling of sympathetic joy is the third quality of Brahma, third immeasurables. The fourth quality is the qualities of infinite upeksha, infinite equanimity, right? So here the mind is purified. Once the mind is purified, your natural state is so filled with contentment and satisfaction that there is absolutely nothing you want, right? There's nothing this person wants whose mind is purified, because his internal state is such, right? He knows, like, anything that I desire is only going to create the disturbance. Personal desire, anything that I personally desire is only going to make me even feel worse as compared to what I'm actually experiencing right now. Yeah. So in that state, he doesn't have any kind of personal desire, and because he doesn't have any kind of personal desire, he feels this strong sense of equanimity towards everything, right? A strong sense of stability, a strong sense of firmness, and a strong sense of equanimity, right? For this person, because he doesn't have this kind of personal desires, uh, there isn't much difference between different things, right? Because he's not looking for happiness in those things, right? So that is the fourth quality, the infinite equanimity, the infinite upeksha, the fourth immeasurable, right? So these are the four qualities said to be the qualities of a purified mind. And Vipassana is saying, like, if you continue practicing Vipassana, it will keep continue purifying your mind, and these qualities should, kind of develop by themselves. These qualities uh, start to present themselves instead of you practicing them. They start to be coming out of within yourself, as your practice mature, as your minds get too purified, as your ignorance start to dissolve, as we start to seeing things not separate from ourselves, but the unified connection between things, right? Beautiful teaching, beautiful interpretation, and very beautifully represented as the qualities of Brahma through the four different phases of Brahma. And the person who has these qualities considered a very higher being, right? And in fact, if we see the higher beings, people like, let's say, Mother Teresa, you will see they have these four qualities, right? They were basking in these four qualities. You know?